Hi, and welcome back to Penguin's View. TV review time. Yeah, you got it. Monsoon season. Nothing much else to do other than get soggy when I go shopping. Not a good idea. Anyway, so today I'm going to be looking at a TV show that I quite enjoyed, and that is The Bondsman, starring Kevin Bacon. Bacon sandwich. I could do with a bacon sandwich right now. Anyway, another thing. Now, don't worry about Kevin Bacon. There is nothing footloose about him in this program. Aha! Although he is musical. That's not a spoiler. That's in there. Anyway, but there we go. So, when I watched the trailer for this, I've got to admit I was a bit in two minds as to whether this was really for me. Anyway, don't do spoilers, but I've got to give you the basic premise at least. And that is that the bondsman, a bail bondsman, a bounty hunter, if you will, comes to rather a rough ending, as you will see in the first episode. Only, was it an ending? Again, you'll see. He seemingly comes back from the dead, so to speak. But he's been given a new job. Well, it's sort of an old job, but sort of a new job, if you like. Where he has to deal with some very unusual goings on. No, not going to go into that bit. That's the not going into the spoilers bit. See, there we go. I've been good to you. There are also other things that are going on with him dealing with his son, ex-wife's boyfriend, and all of that's never an easy thing to sort of deal with. But there we go. Now, the series itself is made up of 8 episodes, and I have to say, I really quite enjoyed them. But what surprised me was the fact that the episodes were only in the region of 30 minutes each. I think they could have stretched it a little to 45 minutes. That's, in American terms, that's an hour, including adverts. But there we go. That would have worked better. Maybe some of the stories wouldn't have felt quite so rushed. There we are. In all, it received rather a good rating from 29 critics, giving it an overall 83%. I have to say I rather enjoyed it and would give it a 7.3 out of 10. Anybody that knows me knows that a 7 plus is a good score. I think it's well worth a watch as long as you don't mind a bit of blood splatter. Yeah, there's some blood splatter going on in this program. Right, downside. Anybody also who knows me knows that I believe there are downsides for everything. And this one has a major downside. And that is it was cancelled after just one season of the aforementioned 8 episodes. I do feel that it wasn't given a chance. I think if it had been given a second season, again, maybe 6, 8 episodes, it would have grown on people. Especially as the last episode, as proper series do, ended on a cliffhanger. quite an important big cliffhanger at that. But the powers that be decided that it wasn't to be done, so it was cancelled. I mean, seriously, if you get a chance, watch it. Action, horror, even a bit of humour chucked in there for good measure, which is always quite a good one. So, hopefully you found this informative. And until the next one, TTFN.